Okay, just a real quick overview of PixelmatorPRO. Here I'm going to add a new layer. So all the layer stuff's down the left hand side. Here I can pick a shape also, and I can draw a shape with it. So that's added a new layer you can see there. Then I come over to styles. That's a big one on the right hand side. You can pick any kind of a style there. You can see there's also fill and other things over to the right of it. And then you can pick the style that you want there, so it shows style at the top. You can then mess around with the lines that it gives you, the points, to change the shading where it goes to and where it comes from. And you can also see at the right hand side there's a gradient that you can pick the colors from and that sort of thing. Now I go into the magnetic selection. There's a bunch of selection tools. I found the magnetic very handy. You can just trace around close to where you want, and then you can click partway and click again, and you can connect the dots at the end by waiting for that little pop-up right there, and then you click and it joins the whole thing together. You can then also come up to format, and if you go to the bottom you can actually change that into a shape. So you're converting the selection into a shape. That becomes a whole new shape in a layer. And you can do whatever you would normally do. You can also hide these layers and unhide them as you want. And back over at the right hand side, I do this selection again. This time I'm going to leave the selection without converting it. And then what I'm going to do is go over to the right hand side, and I'm going to pick the paint tool, and it's going to be the fill, and I'm going to pick a color, and in this case I'll just pick, say, the yellow, and I click, okay, I'll pick brown, and then I'll click inside there, and you can see that it converts it, changes it to another layer with brown. And again, I can do the free selection now, and I'll just take and select a little bit of the of what I have there. So I've just drawn a little selection of it, and on the same layer I can do the paint, and I can add, and you can see in the layers it doesn't add a new layer, it just does it on the same layer there. So that becomes one layer, the two colors there. I'm just going to close that, and you can see all these little windows that can be closed and stuff. So the top two are the biggies that you're probably going to use a lot. Here you can, I wanted to show how to do the outline because I forgot how to do it. So basically with the style picked, you just pick the stroke itself, and then you can change the, you can also add a fill if you want the middle of it filled. You could add gradients and that sort of thing too. In this case, I'm just hovering over to show that there's pop-ups to help you with explaining what these things do. And I can change the thickness of that stroke, and I can also, right there, it's centered on the outside border, but I can also change that. You can see the center just below where I am there. And if I pick, like, say, for instance, inside, and if I increase the width, you can see that it actually draws it all inside there, so you don't lose the outside and the outside dimensions of that.